This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to Transcendent Life. You are here for a Tuesday tune-up. I am J.M. Ryerson, and to my left...
Oh, I'm supposed to say my own name. Lisa Ryerson.
Did you forget it this morning?
My name?
Yeah.
No.
You just didn't know.
Usually you just do it for me.
I try and keep you on your toes, something that I know I never do in real life. I'm never keeping you on your toes. You always know exactly what to expect.
Yeah, no. Never. You're always keeping me on my toes. So you've been gone the last 10 days, and I missed you so much. You know, and then you came back, and I'm so glad you're home. I really am. My house blew up. Like, it's immaculate. And for someone who's OCD, as I am, I mean, my kids are in line. Like, they clean up after themselves. And even our youngest, Trey, was funny. He goes, you know, our house is a lot cleaner when Daddy's not here.
Can you give one example of it not being clean?
Are you serious?
One. Just, I want
You're
one.
a squatter, JM.
Name one. Go ahead. You say it's so dirty, but you can't give me one example.
No, I just told you, a squatter. All your clothes end up on the floor in piles.
There's none. If we were to take the camera, go upstairs, there would be zero clothes. In your mind, you see this when I'm unpacking my bag. Anyway, maybe you just got unlucky. No, sorry, it was a bad segue. Because today we're going to talk about creating our own luck. So thank you for missing me, and thank you for kind of missing me.
I missed you a lot.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that when you come home, it's like the Tasmanian devil just shows up and pure havoc is through the house.
No, I'm glad to hear I can bring some excitement to your life. So let me ask you this. We're going to talk about creating your own luck today. So do you believe in luck? I mean, you come from a culture of certainly superstitions. Certainly there's great meaning behind, objects, numbers. So, you could call it superstitious. You could call it luck. But I know in the Chinese culture specifically, luck is a very, very big thing. So I'm just curious if that rubbed off on you, permanent.
Yeah, I feel like there is, there's situations. I don't, I grew up with that for sure, but I believe that there's opportunities. And if you are constantly doing the right thing and what you're supposed to be doing and, what your sole purpose is, being on this earth, then doors will open for you. So, I mean, things do drop in. But I truly believe, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, things do drop in if it's meant to be, but you have to work for it. Like everything that I've ever, achieved and you've achieved, like we've had to work our butts off for it, right? It doesn't just come, but are there opportunities there? Absolutely.
All right. So you hit on a couple of the ones I want to talk about today. You said looking for opportunities. So that was actually number 2. Just being aware or even considering yourself lucky. If they did a study in Britain and they had a group of 10 walk down the sidewalk. Now, prior to doing the study, they asked, do you believe you're lucky? And, do you not? Now, 5 said they believe they're lucky. 5 did not. Of those walking down the street, the 5 that said they were lucky, all 5 of them picked up the $20 pound that was left on the sidewalk. Of the other 5 that said they were not lucky, only 1 out of 5 picked up the note. So I guess when you say recognizing opportunity, quite literally, it might be there. But if you don't believe in that you're deserving or you're lucky or whatever, you may just miss the opportunity. So does that make sense with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So for example, I've always said, and this is what I put in the universe, like I don't win raffles. I never win raffles. I don't win bingo, whatever it is. Like I've just always grew up kind of with that mentality. Like, oh, I never win these things. And I think I've gotten that from my mom, right? Because she's like, oh, nobody ever wins the lottery. Nobody ever wins that. But somebody does, right? Someone always wins the lottery,
just
right?
so we're clear.
Yeah, but like it wasn't going to be her, right? Because that's what she put in the universe. And so I had picked that up. And what's really funny is when we had our oldest, TJ, and we've always said he was really lucky. And it started as a toddler. And I think we put that into him. That kid literally won every single cakewalk at the racket club that we belonged to, right? They had a cakewalk for every holiday, and they would get to win this little cake. The kid brought home a St. Patrick's Day cake, an Easter cake, July 4th cake, Halloween. I mean, you name it, he won every single cakewalk as a toddler. Then as he got older, it was bingo night. He'd win the bingo. He'd win the raffles. He'd win everything. And we've always said he was lucky. But is it really, was he born with that? Or it's something that he believes, I'm going to win that. And it just happens.
Well, I think that, I don't know, right? I don't know. Maybe he just truly does have a horseshoe stuck up his derriere. I don't know. But more than likely, if you put it out in the universe, and again, this is where we talk about it, but that is just, I do believe in luck, but I do believe there are things to enhance it. So just by simply saying TJ's lucky, I do believe that he has that, whatever is shining on him. Something is there. It's special. It's different. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was number 2, just being aware. Looking for luck is what I call it. Just being aware of the opportunity. The other one that you said early is, and this you would have got it from your parents, is just hard work. Mm-hmm. So your parents, again, immigrated over here. Your dad, I think, had about $200 American dollars in his pocket. And they've done extremely well for themselves. I will leave it at that. But that was sheer hard work and some luck involved as well. But I think they created that. Does that make sense? Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that. They worked, 2 or 3 jobs. They saved, they ate top ramen. Like my mom, I remember when we first got married and I'm like, oh, we have date night. And she goes, you have a date night? What does that mean? I go, well, we're going to go out to the movie. She goes, oh, we would never pay to go see movies, right? It's so interesting. And so they did. They worked very, very hard, but I also believe they did create their luck because they were at the right time at the right place. And what I mean by that, just an example, one of the properties that they purchased was a small church. And it wasn't very much back in the day. I don't know, maybe it was like $30,000, $40,000. And they had saved enough, had that opportunity, and they just bought it. And they rented it for years and years and years. And I think it was like something like 30 years later, they go to sell it. And it's like over, I don't know, $1 million, right? So it's those opportunities are there. And because they worked hard and we were able to save the money to purchase that, they were able to have that come to fruition. Where maybe other people may not work so hard, may not save the money. And even if that church was available to purchase, they didn't have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, certainly savvy investments and right place, right time. In fact, I asked Sam, my father-in-law, hey, how did you make so much money in real estate? He goes, buying the 80s and 90s. Well, that doesn't help me. But, there's a lot of people doing that today in real estate. So it's not just particular. It is recognizing, again, this is a good opportunity, doing your due diligence. But again, they had worked so hard. And Thomas Jefferson, I love quoting this guy because he goes, I'm a great believer in luck. I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. And I thought that was pretty accurate. Now, this is the last one, and this is important to us, to us both for sure, but that is the whole idea of giver's gain. When you give, the more luck you seem to have. And I know that we have both experienced this. The more you give, this podcast, for instance, putting it out to the world, so many amazing things have come by doing this. And it's not like this is making profit today. It's just not. That's okay. But the amount of, so I shouldn't say that because it does, but that wasn't the intent. Mm-hmm. It's to give knowledge, to give some love, some ideas. And so much has come from this particular form or the blogs themselves. It's work. It's extra work, but I would never, ever stop doing it. So I don't know your thoughts on giver's gain.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how, I truly believe that's how the universe works, right? If you don't give, you don't gain. And it's a cycle. It's a circle, right, per se. And all I know is that when your heart is in the right place and you are there to serve others, you will, the universe will provide for you as well in your family. Yeah. So I truly believe in that.
Well, then there is a whole book series, guys. If you haven't had a chance, they're very simple read. So if you're like, I'm not a reader, check these out because they're 45 minutes. I know I'm hyping somebody else, but these books are great. And that's Go Givers, the whole Go Giver series by, I think it's John David Mann, Bob Berg, if I'm not mistaken. They literally have 4 incredible books, and it's all on this idea. One of them is Go Giver, Sell More. I will put it up against any other sales book, and I think it goes toe to toe. Again, probably takes you 45 minutes to an hour and a half to read it. Very simple. It's a parable, very easy to read, but the whole concept is behind giving and how much more you receive.
Absolutely. And I read those. So if I can read them, I feel like anybody can, because I struggle to sit down with the book.
Okay. Now I got to address it.
I just put that in the universe.
Yes. Every time you say, so this is, now we're off luck for a second, but every time, and you know what? So I just got back, guys, 10 days, 8 of which were, it was a fitness resort. Quick side note, because every time somebody asks me, hey, where are you going? I'm like, yeah, it's a place where you get to go work out hard, you meditate, you journal, and they kept saying, so you're going to rehab. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to rehab. It was a fitness resort is what it ended up being, and it was incredible. But anyway, the what you just did, I want people to recognize this. That is a label. You are saying, I struggle with, and so you're right. You're going to, or you'll even believe that yourself, so it's going to be a challenge.
I wanted to give an example.
Oh, is that what happened?
That is exactly what happened.
Here's what's interesting with you and anybody that when you say these things, but then when you read, you geek out. You get excited. You tell me all the ideas. You send me like pictures of the pages. But here's what's interesting. You still believe you struggle with it, even though you're getting so much joy from it. Why is that? I'm just curious.
I do get joy from it. I think when I say struggle is being able to set aside time specifically and sitting down. But that's why I have my goals, right? So you're like reading 10 books a month. My goal, I make it very realistic, is reading 1 book every other month. And so what ends up, life happens, right? Like for example, January, February, my goal was to read 1 book. So I had my book picked out, started reading it. Okay, I'm going to read 10 pages a day. I can do this. And then life happens, right? I get busy with the kids. You're gone, whatnot. And it was like February 20th. I go, oh my gosh, like I need to go. Like how many pages do I have left? And I'm just sitting there just reading. And took the book with me. I'm reading in the car. I'm reading while I'm waiting for the kids, from school. I'm just reading all the time so I can finish it in that timeline. So it's not that I don't enjoy reading. I do. It's being able to have that balance and make sure I get it done.
Look, I'm not sitting here and saying that I don't do the same thing, because I'll give you an example. I used to only physically read books because I'm like, oh, I don't get the same if I listen to the books versus reading them. And I put out in the world, therefore I believed it. Therefore, I would listen to a book and be I didn't get as much. That this year I had to change that because the amount of time I have to sit down and physically read has shrunk. But there's a lot more time where I can listen, or I'm making time doing the dishes, taking the dog for a walk. It's hard to read a physical book while trying to walk a dog. It's virtually impossible, but I can listen to them. So I guess, again, this is an example where I was doing the same thing. So just be aware of it. Be mindful of it. But that wasn't why we did this podcast to begin with. It all was on luck. So the 3 ideas here, guys, if you want to create your own luck, it's hard work, look for luck, look for opportunities, and go out and give, because why not? Why not go get lucky? Why not create your own luck? I believe in that. and I want everybody else to too. So, Lisa, I'd love to hear how they find their own luck, or perhaps their own perception of if someone's lucky or not. Where can they send that to us?
Yeah, please, visit any of our social media outlets at Let's Go Win 365. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our website, www.letsgowin.com.
Yeah, and now that I know Champions Daily Playbook, it's on Amazon, you guys. I've had amazing feedback from you guys. So, thank you. Get out there. Go order it on Amazon. I think it's $10 or $9.99 or whatever it is, but it's something that I use it all the time. It's all the clients that I coach are using it. So this is literally for $10. You get to dive into something that can really change your habits and your intentions in 90 days. So I hope you all get a chance to check it out. I'd love to hear more feedback on it. All right, you guys, until next time, continue transcending life. We'll talk to you then. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.